Hello everybody, welcome back. Here I am, the Outlaw, with another replay that I got from Team Liquid, this time featuring one of their newest acquisitions and yet another Code S contender. It is now formerly OGS, now Team Liquid. It is OGS Zenio, his opponent in the bottom half of this map. We have, the Korean lettered Protoss, who will be the color blue this time, but he is actually Naniwa, using a friend's account in Korea in the house that he stays at. Now that he's a part of Quantic Gaming, he's actually going to be staying with the wonderful people at Incredible Miracle. So, much respect to Naniwa in some instances. He has done a couple of things that are worth note that are a little bit risque and probably some would consider inappropriate, but there is a interesting placement for a pylon. He's going to put that down there. That's actually, the new thing you see nowadays. And he's most likely going to go for some kind of Forge first build. Now Zenio, I don't know too much about Zenio's style, hence me casting one of his games. I'd like to know him a little bit better. He's just going to continue to drone, might go for the very safe speedling expand, and that's pretty close. Nope, he's going to wait to get an even later pool. He just wants to get as many drones as he can, going for a very safe, economic type of build. And there he goes. He's gotten the spawning pool, and he's gonna check around for any sort of proxies that could have been snuck in the map. Very smart. Meanwhile, Naniwa just gonna go Nexus first, it seems. Now, that's interesting. I've seen a lot of players go Nexus first, and they get completely obliterated, but no big deal. He's got something really safe going on right now. He realizes there's no real early pressure at the moment. Scout out where his opponent could possibly be. And here we go. Zenio's pool is just about finished. Is he going to put down a hatch? Because that probe is waiting for such a thing to happen. The expansion is down. We have a forge. We have the first of the extra pylons in the back. So I always liked Naniwa's forge first style of play. It's very, very interesting, and I think I enjoy it a whole lot. There it is, completed with a gateway. Now there's that expansion. That's really clever. Where now Zergs, I've actually seen this a couple times where the Zergs decide that they'd rather just move it out there. And this probe, will he survive long enough? No, he will not. See that expansion. So now Zenio looking pretty safe. He isn't getting speed. He went for that gasless expand. And now he's playing similar to what we see Spanishiwa do, where he gets no gas until about 5 minutes, and he just focuses on droning. Just focuses on droning or Zerglings. And you see the first of the cannons up for Naniwa, or for Naniwa. He did just finish his gateway, so he could put down the cybernetics core. Gas now on the way for him as well, spending his chrono boost pretty efficiently. Now if you look, Zenio's expansion has completed, and he is still not getting any gas on any of his bases. So we're going to continue to see that for maybe a couple more minutes. Who knows for sure. And there is the cybernetics core. Now, we haven't seen too many workers transferred over, but he is going to continue to chrono boost. He's really only got one worker over here. Is he probably just going to wait until the main is saturated, but the Zerglings are now starting to take a bit of the map, getting a little bit of map control, seeing getting vision with that, seeing where there are probes trying to run around the map. A third now taken for Zenio because of that forge first. So now Zenio looking to be catching right back up. Looking at the income tab, Zenio is ahead and will continue to get ahead. Meanwhile, Warp Tech is being researched and chrono boosted. As we see, there are two gases being taken by Naniwa, and he's completely mining from them. Meanwhile, we did see 2 gas get taken by Zenio, so now we'll finally start to see the process of that coming into play. Upgrades, level 1 upgrades are also on the way for Naniwa, but nothing along that sort for Zenio. He hasn't even put down his Evo chamber yet, but he can afford to do that once he gets a sizable army. He'd rather have a larger army than one with upgrades. And Zenio now, just barely ahead in the worker count, but he's going to continue to drone up. Or he could go for some very unique timing attack based on his build. He is still on only 2 gases, and look at that, more gates coming down for Naniwa. Zenio missing some larva injects. He doesn't have too many queens out there. And now a roach warren and an evo chamber, so he's gonna go for some kind of roach play. That's a little different than what we typically see in this matchup, and I wonder if Naniwa will respond appropriately. He is getting, well, he's continuing to build some extra gateways. He's going to be on a total of 5 gates with that +1 upgrade. So that's actually a pretty unique little timing that you can do to punish someone who goes for a build like this, where they focus solely on the drones until that late gas. But the gases were on a fair enough timing that now he can get some roaches out. You see more spines are on the way for some defense. And you also have some lings that are out. The lings don't even have speed yet, but they still are able to kind of kill off this unit. He doesn't want any proxies to go down, and that's what he's doing with these Zerglings. He really wants to search around for them and prevent them from doing too much, but oh no, Zenio's gonna see this. He realizes now would be a good time to make some roaches and get some speed, and sure enough, that is exactly what he will do. He's building another spine crawler, getting that macro hatchery, wants to get units out here ASAP. He's sending 1 roach when I don't believe he necessarily should, but moving the spines now in the front of Zenio's base here. Lings wanted to get a good position on him, and they're actually defending that proxy pretty well. But here comes Naniwa. Naniwa's micro with his sentries is probably the best in the world right now. So I think that he will do just fine with this. Now the Lings are going to pull back a little ways. Naniwa realizes he's got a bit of an advantage. It's going to come down to how good his force fields are and how good the Zerglings can engage. He needs to get around his opponent first before and force him to use as many of those force fields as he can. Speed is just about to finish now. There he goes. He's splitting the Lings. He wants to kind of sweep around and get him. He's got a Spore Crawler for good defense. But oh, look at that. Great force field. He's going to lose those roaches. And oh no. A little bit of egg-click miss micro there. Zenio looking to be in trouble. Oh, but he's gonna hit almost, he basically hit all of those force fields. Very good job. Now those Lings are forced to run away. And actually, he might go ahead, kill the proxy, and counterattack right here. And look at that. Naniwa is now supply blocked after that little loss of the proxy pylon. And now there's a lot of roaches out there. And a lot of Lings. Zenio now in quite the lead right now in both economy and military. So right now he should go for some kind of attack right now. There's not as many force fields. He forced Naniwa to use a lot of them, and now Zenio could actually afford to maybe even expand again if he wanted to. He's using his minerals in an appropriate manner right now, and there he goes. He's gonna start to move down. Looked like Zenio was using an Overlord there to spread the creep. That's very effective as well. Now that we see that the layer is finished, we'll start to see some of those additional upgrades. So now the lead is 1-1 upgrades to 0-0 upgrades, but now we see rain, missile attacks and grooved spines. So he's gotten the Hydra Den out. And the Hydralisks are now on the way. He is going for 6 of them right off the bat. And this still looks like a pretty good army from Naniwa. He's got the gateway army that he needs, but now realizing he's going roach, going for Immortals. However, Hydras will do a better job against that. And I don't see a robotic support bay at all. So the goal right now is if he can somehow destroy this third, that will put Naniwa in a great position. Not allowing your opponent to get a third up is probably your #1 goal as a Zerg player in any matchup, because then you guarantee a victory. Now if you can't do that right away, because right now it seems like that might be the case, there's only 2 cannons, but you don't want him to maximize the benefits of that. He's gonna, ooh wow, Zenio looking like he wants to split up his army a bit for an interesting attack here. He might pull these Stalkers by. They do not have blink, and he is just now getting the Twilight Council. But oh no, that's a lot of Lings that are now going to be into his main. That is trouble. Those force fields are actually more of a bane than a blessing. The Lings are destroying so many workers. but now the roaches and the hydras are now in there. There are also lings surrounding the roaches. Zenio playing so clever. He needs to pull those lings away. And probably going to think about regrouping, sending down a whole lot more. He realizes he's done so much damage, he wants to take the gold. And now look at this, Zenio starting to attack a bit more. He's got the lings, he's got the roaches, he's got the hydras. That's a lot of units. Trying to get sentries in there with some force fields, but they are subpar. He is up against the wall, but that's a lot of units backed into a corner by Naniwa. But there's the reinforcements. They're going to get in there, but I don't think they will be able to do enough. There's still some hydras in there. And there's the rest of the lings. Will this be enough? Probably zealots coming in now, and there they are, starting to sweep up on these hydras. Now the hydras are gone. However, the big thing is here, Naniwa is actually significant. Well, Naniwa's actually ahead right now in terms of both military and economy. However, at what cost? Naniwa is on less bases. Therefore, Zenio is going to be able to make a whole lot more at the same amount of time and basically remax his army. Blink is now being researched, and the Spire is just about finished. These lings are just going to constantly apply pressure right now. He wanted to see how much he could do, and now, ladies and gentlemen, this game's going to keep going on. That was actually a really fair trade. Zenio didn't do enough damage as he should have. He killed a lot of workers, though. That's the craziness here, that even though he killed so many workers, well, actually he only killed 5 because it was so bunched in there. It's so clever. And now you see that Naniwa has established his third. So now Zerg is actually looking in a really bad spot. Once the tech starts to come in, if he decides to go for Colossus or continue to get more Immortals, either way, Zenio is kind of on the back ropes. He didn't do what he wanted. That was supposed to almost win him the game. But now there is Spire Tech out there. And there they are, those mutas. And the mutas give you a little bit of extra map control. Now that he's going to start poking around with it, there's no real anti-air besides the Blink Stalkers. Here come the mutas, though. They can basically focus down these Stalkers. There's not enough. And now we see that Zenio has killed 12 workers total. That's really only like 6 workers that he, that's about 6 workers that he killed before. So he's doing a great job now. Fantastic. And he still has his Ling presence on the bottom, but what is Naniwa doing right now? He's getting his level 2 upgrades, which are a little late. He should have gotten those a while back. He does have a few gates, but now that he's on 3 bases, these 2 gates will come in handy. He might want to go, well, now that he realizes that the Roach Hydra push is done, and Zenio really has established his gold, he has every reason to start engaging here. And there's the Lings in the oh my goodness, Lings in the mix doing a whole lot of damage. And now it really is the Lings doing significant damage there. Blink Stalkers moving into the fray, but right now I think there are enough mutas that could actually... No, that's a lot of Blink Stalkers that just warped in. Oh my goodness. This is such an interesting game. How evenly matched these players are. Zenio going for yet another base. Going to continue to get as much as he can. And look at that. Now we're looking at a total of... Oh, let's go to the unit counting station. We've got 24 mutas on the field. Now we're getting at that critical mass of mutas. Zenio might not want to engage right now. He might want to go for his max army before he does anything too significant. Oh no. Bad engagement. Zenio not looking that great. His income... Zenio's income has now become his greatest strength. His upgrades are a little behind because level 3 upgrades, ooh, they were cancelled. Look at this, there's a lot going on. There was a big run by. Some stuff got through. And now the big engagement's coming with the mutas in the main, but that's still not enough. There's just too many stalkers there. The Lings are able to do a lot of damage, but there's just too many of them. And that might actually spell GG for Naniwa. He lost, or that might spell GG for Zenio, rather. Zenio playing great right now. Holy cow. That was so skilled, but Zenio, what are you going to do? Zenio is now going to continue to get mutas. Now Psystorm's on the way. Really late for Psystorm, but he needs it to deal with the muta threat. And Lings are also very weak to that as well. Infestors would be a good decision, but I don't see any sort of mid to late game strategy by Zenio in that matter. He could also go for Broodlords if he gets a little concerned right now. He has the economic lead right now, though. It's so superior. He basically can afford to trade armies. Oh no, but he's gonna lose more of those units. He needs to be very careful about when he engages. This is a terrible engagement point, as those lings will not get us around. And now we're basically seeing the supply just... Wow! Actually, I stand corrected. Zenio's still ahead. If we basically look at the spending right now, look how much Zenio is... Well, he's still spending a lot in the economy. He's still making drones. And I gotta wonder when that will end. But here come the lings, though, catching a lot of these stalkers unprepared. But there's the Psy Storms. The lings are just gonna run around, however. Psy Storming the mutas. And this actually looks like it might go into Zenio's favor. Now that the blink stalker count has gone down, 26 lings are now hitting the field. And Naniwa still doesn't know about this gold. That's so incredible. Level 2 melee ranged attacks are now, missile attacks are now on the way. So that's pretty crazy that Zenio is still in this. Naniwa is taking a fourth. Now, that's kind of understandable as he's now mined out in one base, soon to be mined out in his natural. Now there's mutas, roaches in there as well. And look at this. Here comes the surround. There's the attack. Switching right back into roaches. Great tech swap for Zenio. But now that's a lot of Archons, though. How much damage will he do with these roaches? He needs to reinforce. And look at this. Trying to get a better concave. Right now, he's in a dangerous spot right now. Zenio, realizing you can trade armies right now. And at the same time is sending roaches into the natural. And he's going to start poking away down here. And then he'll just apply more roach pressure elsewhere. He's getting Burrow, getting Carapace level 2 upgrades, and Tunneling Claws. Switching into that Mass Roach army. But right now, there's a lot of Zealots and Stalkers in there. He needs to do a lot of damage so that Naniwa cannot come back from it. Oh wow, now there's more roaches that have moved in. Now look at this. Naniwa, he actually has only 12 Stalkers and they are engaging right here. That Archon won't last very long. And now these roads, the economy is just showing that Zenio has gotten to his perfect spot. He can just remax all he wants. And it's just how well can he use his blink to micro his way through this. And that Templar didn't stand a chance. Oh my goodness, these Stalkers are going to go down now. You see the lings are kind of in a good choke, but Naniwa's going to GG, and Zenio takes this game. I really enjoyed this. The reason why I think Zenio won is he defended in early attack and just kept the pressure on the Protoss player because he kept doing damage with all of his harassment. It was so effective. Mutas didn't do as much. I mean, Zenio didn't play the best with them, but Naniwa played really well. I think it was his unit composition that got him. He could have actually won if he went for Colossus right away. It was an interesting force to see if he would force him to go for Blink Stalkers. Yeah, and then Roach Hydro would come back in again or something along those lines. But yeah, I think Zenio played very well. He was going for Hive, and his tech path would have probably been back into Broodlords. But good game by both players. I had a lot of fun watching this one. Hopefully you guys did as well. I will see you guys next time. Have a wonderful new year. Outlaw is, well, out once more.